I believe a man must always be in motion. And to elaborate further on this, is the worst days that you can have is when you're stagnant. You think because you worked all week, you can sit in bed Saturday. And maybe you are privileged to have your rest. But are you not cutting yourself off from the future potential that you can have by continuously to improve your life in whatever avenue you are actually working towards? Yesterday was Saturday, and because of social obligations, I was out very late. So I woke up maybe 10 or 11. I stayed in bed with the illusion that I was learning something. I was watching YouTube videos, and frankly, I don't remember any of them. Maybe a little bit of one. But that day, I got nothing done. It was my rest day in the gym. I didn't even eat all the food that I should have because I had this illusion of, oh, I'm resting. I'm just going to take the day easy. And when I found myself at night, I was frustrated by the loss of potential that I could have had. Because days will fly past us. We only live in the moment. And what I have on my wall is that I will never burden my future self with my labor. My future self gets to reap the rewards of my labor, meaning that the continuous hard work of ourselves mean that we can look back in the year and say, I'm glad that my younger self did the hard work. And what I mean by motion, I understand that it's a catchy word nowadays, but it is a benefactor to your life to continuously to move. To only stand still is comfort. And I believe you have to enforce yourself with a mindset that you do not deserve it, or you are not privileged to rest until you get something. I wake up and I know, frankly, I have ladies that are going to text me in the morning. My friends, notifications, all the comforts in the world are on my phone. But I must resist. I know damn well how much I'm going to enjoy going through my notifications. So what do? I put that bitch on Do Not Disturb and I get to work. I spend hours on the computer writing scripts, planning the day out, recording videos, and hours fly by. So then, and only then, by the discomfort of my motion, of the work that I do, then I can enjoy only a little bit. Because, oh yeah, I gotta eat breakfast. I gotta go to the gym. I can't listen there and enjoy music. The music's only for the gym or special moments. So when you put a restriction on your dopamine, on the things you enjoy, you are persuaded to get the hard work done because you have that treat at the end. Another side note is if you actually want to get the hard work done is to limit your dopamine. It must be the most fun thing in your day. That's why people need a constant dopamine drip to get anything done. You look at certain individuals, they're always listening to music. They need that dopamine feed of that neurologic benefit of listening to music, that constant dopamine, because life is uncomfortable for them. When you start to become a hardened and strengthful, strong man, you realize that discomfort grows you as an individual. If I look back on my best years, it's by the most disciplined I was. Living like a Marine, a soldier, I would sleep on the ground because I knew the bed would be too comfortable for me. That I'd wake up super early and I'd do fucking workouts in the middle of the night, shit like that. Maybe that's a little crazy, and I reflected and I changed my schedule. I'm not saying to go do that. But by the discomfort allows us to realize the pleasures in our lives. So to go back into the topic of this motion, is you need to start your day out with a plan. I always go to bed, and before I do anything, before I allow myself to sleep, I get a notepad and I write what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to wake up at 6. And I get very specific because it's very easy to slack and be confused by the hindsight of a new day of not knowing what you're going to do, because you will have like 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., those 2 hours, and you think, what the hell am I doing in there? And you need to fill it. Because you can say, oh yeah, tomorrow, of course I'm going to go work out. I'm going to hit this. I'm going to eat that. I'm going to do that. But in the moment when you're making those decisions and reflecting on the mess that is your brain, you're not going to have the foundation to appropriately go throughout your day. So to plan tomorrow, I get very specific. Okay, wake up at 6. Get out of bed, brush my teeth, get dressed, journal, meditate, look at what script I'm going to record so I have that in plan. I don't have to waste more time, because time is the only currency that we truly have as individuals living. So then I have the entire day planned. I planned what I'm going to go do in the workout so it goes better, and I save time so I can be more productive, and I'm constantly moving. Because the hardest thing in life is to actually start going. It's not that the gym is a really hard thing to do, but you know what's hard? When you don't feel like it, and you know you should have done it, but the day went by and you stalled and you waited and you let things get in your way. You didn't eat the frog. You didn't do the hardest thing first thing in the morning. So now it's midday and the gym's packed and you're filling yourself with excuses. Oh, I'm kind of full and I'm tired and blah, blah, blah. We will never burden our future self with our work. Our future self gets to reap the benefits of our labor. You're going to be so grateful years, months, weeks from now when you realize you did the hard work. So you dumb it down. What are the steps you need to do to get, let's say, for the gym? You don't feel like it, but you know what you can do? No matter how hard and difficult, how much you don't want to do it, you think, all right, all I have to do, I put my headphones on, I put my favorite song on, I change my clothes, I put my shoes on, I walk out of the door, I start the car, I drive to the gym, I'm in there, I'm doing bench pressing, I'm doing that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm back home. That wasn't too hard. And you just made progress. You just bettered yourself. You just went through the simple steps. And when you continue to do that, you reap the rewards. You just got stronger. You bettered yourself. The motion of moving is not that hard. It's only when we allow ourselves to stand still does everything come to a stop, and we have to build that momentum back up. It's really easy to be consistent, but if we do not hold ourselves to a standard to become better, yes, life is ups and downs, but you know why it's ups and downs? Not by the outside forces of life. They could be, but it is because we allow ourselves to stop. So then that motion stops. So then we allowed ourselves to dip down, so we have to continue to rebuild the momentum. Now, just like that video cut, I had to go do something and now I have to get back into it. The struggle is continuously to do the hard work, but understanding this is the betterment of yourself. The reason why I always use this topic of growth is you look back at a version of yourself and you cringe. You cringe at the last 6 months. You cringe at the last year, 2, 3 years. That's perfect. You need to cringe at your older self because you grew as an individual. And the worst thing in life is knowing you had potential. Now, potential is understanding the possibility that you have. It's something usually you look back in hindsight. For example, I got injured in the gym recently. Something with my right ACL was bugging me from work. I couldn't squat for about a month. So a month without doing that, you understand the potential of, oh yeah, I was squatting 335 for reps, and now it's hard to get 2 plates up. But the prosperity of understanding the potential that you had, you just need to get the motion and the continuous work in. So when it comes down to everything in life, is understand that you kind of have to be, kind of dumb it down with the idea of constant movement. Whether it's just you forcing yourself to go through the motions to get the work done, there's no worse feeling than spending the entire day achieving nothing. If you are a man, or you call yourself as one, we are mission, goal, and purpose orientated. To fulfill our hearts and to feel dissolved is to have a reason to continuously to move. So I expect you to find the greater reason of your living. And if you deserve that privilege to rest, you must earn it. Because it is a great feeling to kick back. after a week of hard work, you've been consistent in the gym, your entrepreneurship, your job, whatever you do, and you feel accomplished, yeah, you could go take Saturday off, or you can continue to do it, whatever you want. But when you earn the right to kick your feet up, to spend some time with some good buddies, open some beers, or hang out with your girlfriend, it's going to be 10 times better because you actually allowed yourself to slow down so the next day when you start, you are amped and ready and refreshed by the relaxation that you deserved. When you go out through life and you have no motion, you have no continuously hard work backed by you, and every day is just kind of slightly poking at life, that's no fun. When you work so hard and you know at the weekend that you have that little trip planned, you're going to enjoy it so much more because you truly believed that you worked as hard as you could to deserve it. So that's what I have to say to you is if you want to kick your feet up and enjoy yourself, you better deserve every second of it and know that you truly worked as hard as you could by the continuation of doing the hard work, especially when you didn't feel like it. And to leave this video off, I am Maxwell. I help teach young men find purpose in life. I appreciate if you like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you on the next video.